All right, I'm recording. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the team call for May 23rd, 2016. Team Insanely Driven, Team Awesome, Team Rock Stars, Team Everything. If I'm sure you guys saw, they just got back from Dallas with Mr. John Chalice himself, as well as 500 other awesome dudes and some three main speakers, Bo Eason, David Scott Mann, and Gary Vaynerchuk. To sum it up, all I can say is one absolutely mind-blowing, gut-checking, awesome call or event. It was great. Are you coming over here? You're gonna ruin my manly mojo. I was already on the roll. All right. So anyway, Dallas event. I went last year for the inaugural, and this event topped that tenfold. Dave Ward and Jim Hayes Nelson really brought it to the table this time, and it was great. So what I'm saying, what I want people to hear and see in this is, anytime if you have a husband, if you have a boyfriend, fiance, whatever of the male gender, it doesn't matter. Even if they're not really into it, just get them, tell them about it, to get them there just to experience it, to experience the camaraderie, to learn. It doesn't have to be about, you learn stuff that can be applied to your everyday job. It's not just for Beachbody. I mean, you learn other things, and it's a brotherhood, and it's cool. It's nice to have that. And they really smashed the stereotype that this is a female-dominated business. And Trey Barrett did a really good job of summing it up. And he was like, if you believe that, then you're a freaking loser. It doesn't matter what's the very, very blunt way of describing it. It doesn't matter what you're carrying on your body to determine success. What matters success is what you do. It doesn't matter male, female, or whatever. But of course, it is cool for a group of guys to get together and hang out. There's John's beautiful face. Hey, pretty boy, how you doing? Did you get some sleep? Anyway, so overall, awesome event. Next year, I'm sure there's going to be one. There's no way they can stop doing this unless corporate tells them to quit. But Carl was there himself, and I don't think it's going to stop. So Lindsay Caterino, her boyfriend, was there. I met him. So, and he really doesn't do much with Beachbody. Get him there if he's a guy. All right, I'm gonna blow through. There's so many notes. I just got back.
That's Gemma watching from somewhere else instead of coming to get her dog like she told you she was going to.
I gotta mute people. How do I do that?
Go down to manage participants. You can hit mute all.
Mute all. Okay, I'm muting you all. There we go. Okay, you guys can't talk now. Shush. Just kidding. All right. So there was so much. I mean, I took ridiculous notes, which I don't ever do. I usually take a few notes to stop, but I'm just going to blow through. I'm going to be straight up and real. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because honestly, that's what this weekend was for me. It was a gut check. It was a gut check for everybody there, even the successful ones. And I'm not perfect with it either. And that's why it was a gut check for me, because a lot of the stuff I was just like, it hit me, and I was like, man, that was right to me. Jab, boom, punch across the face. I got beat up, but I learned. And that was the big thing. I took my ego off, and I let it all come in, and I applied it to myself. And I was like, man, I got to fix some stuff. And it's on now. The hustle's on. I'm ready to go, because I'm tired of dilly dally. I'm tired of playing around. I'm tired of being child's play. I want to, I'm done playing in the kiddie pool. I'm ready to go to the big Kahuna waves. All right. So, and I want you guys to come with me. I want everyone to go, because this business is simple, yes, but it's not easy. And Carl said it himself. He's like, this isn't easy. This is hard. This is a hard business. And unless you're really wanting to put your skin in the game and push through it and push past the obstacles and the walls, you're not going to. And Gary Vee said it himself. He's like, straight up honest. He's like, 33% of you you're going to walk out of here and you just need to quit. And it was dead silent. Like, there was no reaction. And he just kind of looked at us like, what? And it's because his big thing was talking about being all in. He's like, I believe in what I do 1,000%. He's like, I think the biggest problem with your guys' industry is that there's a lot of people that don't believe that. and they try and fool themselves and they try and fool other people. So now that doesn't mean I'm just sitting there like, you suck, you just need to quit. But it was a gut check for me to be like, you know what, I need to be in this 1000%. I need to not be at like 88%. Like I believe in this and this is real, and I need to make sure I'm doing that. So like, I'm in it. And it was hard because I was like, man, is that me? Like, am I like do I need to just go out the door because I keep playing around? But no, I took it as I'm in it, and I'm not dilly-dallying around anymore. And he based his whole talk about self-awareness, and that was huge. He's like, I do my videos and I stand up here and talk to you and present myself the way I do because he's like, that's who I am, and I know that's who I am. He's like, I'm not faking this. He's like, it's me. He's like, I don't care about what other people think. He's like, and you should do the same thing. He was like, in my book, I talk about MLM, and it shouldn't matter to you. That's just my opinion. That's what I view it as. He's like, if you do care that I view MLM as a little shisty, then that goes to show what you think about it, that you don't 100% believe in it, because you should be standing up and saying, no, like, what? No, absolutely not. Rather than, why does he say that? What is he going to tell us then if he's coming to talk to us in Beachbody? So that was pretty cool to hear him say that too. And yeah, it doesn't matter what other people think. As long as you believe 1000% in what you do, then that's your passion. His big thing was his wine business, and he took that from his parents and ran with it. And he was like, I believe in that. And he was like, now, if my dad had started with tires, you damn well better believe I would have been the best tire salesman ever, because I would have believed in that, because that's what it was. So being confident, knowing who you are, and that's a big piece. Like that was like the big chunk I took from this is knowing who I am. I'm still missing a piece. Like I've been slowly uncovering it, and I'm trying to dig out of 10 years of Army identity and really find out truly who Paul Evans is to bring to the table. Because I've been doing a lot of, I'll find it here in a second because there's notes everywhere. I didn't have, what is it? And I really want to say it. Know who you are, not who you think you're supposed to be. Does that sound right? I'm going to go with it. Like, know who you are, not who you think you're supposed to be. So trying to tailor to your Facebook crowd what you think they want. Doesn't matter what they want. It's what you want to put out there, and what Erin Venturado is going to say and how she lives her life. You're going to put that out there. Don't put fake crap out there, because they'll know it. All right. Be you and own you. And if people don't like, Trey Barry, if go watch him, go watch Trey's video. And honestly, I think it was on his personal page, right? Go search after this call, go Trey Barrows, Bearor. Trey, Trey, Bearor. He sums up the men's leadership event, and he doesn't hold back. He doesn't, because that's who he knows who he is, and he can do that. And a lot of people like, I don't want to say a cuss word because people might not like that. I don't want to say this because people might not like that. You're holding yourself back. So don't do it. Don't do it anymore. If you haven't, throw it out the window. So self-awareness, that was a big one. So, if you feel like you're having a problem letting a piece of you out, then you're holding it back, and you got to do something to figure it out. What that is, I don't really know. I'm working on it myself, and it's a work in progress. Carl said some really awesome stuff. Carl came out, and I saw a side of him I never seen before, and it was pretty interesting. And he was talking about a lot of his childhood. He was the outcast. He came from a farm town, and he was the theater guy. And he talked about how much ridicule and crap he got because what he was doing did not fit the mold of everybody else. And, he was like, it was tough for him. But he's like, I didn't succeed by having to surround myself with a tribe. I didn't succeed by having to surround myself with a tribe, meaning like he didn't, we want to surround ourselves with people, but he wasn't waiting for that. So like, if you feel like you're out and about, like, don't feel like you need to wait for the right people to come by for you to succeed. You can keep trudging forward and pushing. And then eventually, you will find a tribe, but don't wait for it. I think too many people are thinking like, I'm going to wait for the right people or the right thing to come my way. No, you just need to start walking. You need to start running and climbing and pushing through. And eventually that tribe is going to come to you. Yeah, and then I could go this whole page, going to find things I succeed at and break down the walls to do it. So that's what it is. He would find the things he could succeed, and if there was a wall in his way, he was going to punch through it because he didn't care, because that's what he wanted to do. And he said the difference between you and me is how hard you're busting your freaking ass. That's what he's like, the only difference between you and me is how hard you're going to bust your ass to get there. And it's the truth. How hard are you going to push? How hard are you going to drive yourself to get there? A lot of people, these guys got in the industry or the business sooner, so they have it easier. Them guys that started this, the founding coaches, they had it harder. They didn't have Shakeology. They didn't have challenge packs. They didn't have pretty much anything. They had like P90X, Activit, and fish oil. That's like all they had, and maybe Slim and Six. They started from scratch. So the only benefit they have from being in earlier is just, being at that beginning spot, but it wasn't any easier for them. So that was a big thing that was wiped out this weekend too. And, the big thing Carl said was it's hard. It's going to be hard. There's going to be times where it's going to be flowing easily. It's going to ebb and flow. You're going to have rocking months. You're going to be pushing. Things are going to be happening easy. And then guess what? You're going to hit that next month. And all of a sudden, the coach cancellation forms in your email box are just going to seem like they're coming left and right. And you're going to wake up and you're like, there's another one. Holy shit, there's another one. What is going on? What is happening? And, it happened to me. I had a coach sign up. Literally, she signed up that night. I woke up the next morning. I had her cancellation email in my inbox. Less than 12 hours. It blew my mind. But honestly, I embraced it. I was like, I think I just set a record. I don't know how that happened. She ignores me now. But whatever, next, I'm going to move on. That's a big wall I pushed through this weekend was I would hold myself personally responsible and feel like it was my fault for someone to quit and not go after it. And I got the coolest opportunity this weekend. And that's one thing I want to talk about is getting to events. This event this weekend was amazing. Last year it was me, Chris Webb, Chad Tucker, Brandon, another guy who didn't go this weekend, and Jeff Birch. It was like 5 of us. That was it from, like Team Courage. This year there was like 20 of us, that we personally in our own personal group. But I met other people like in the airport on the way home. I met other coaches from the local area. I got to sit down and talk to Bob Lucido. If anyone knows who Bob Lucido is, he's $1 million earner. He's a big dude. And before, I would be so scared to even just walk up to shake his hand. But I saw him sitting at my gate, and I was like, I had a question. I was waiting to see if it got answered this weekend, and it didn't. So I just walked up to him. I was like, hey, I don't want to, I don't mean to bother you. First off, thank you so much for your talk. You're awesome. I love your material. And I asked him a question. Don't be afraid to connect with people. Be you. That's like what Bo Eason talks about is being a predator. We're mammals. We're humans. We are predators. Don't hold yourself back from that. He's like, we walk around so much like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to look at you. I don't want to offend you. He's like, screw that crap. He's like, walk in that room to where when you step in there, people are looking at you and they can't take their eyes off you. Just do that and just look at people. That's the easiest, man. I walk around campus and I look at people and all they're doing is this. And they look up and they see me looking at them just to smile and they look their head down. I love it. It's the coolest thing ever. But it just don't be afraid to have confidence. Bo Eason. Being afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid. Network. But in getting to events, and it's not just Beachbody events. When we go to Danny Johnson, look for stuff outside. Go surround yourself with stuff to learn. The guy talking, Scott Mann, if you're going to Summit, which I think if you're going to Summit, he's going to be there at the Team Courage training. You're going to get to hear him speak, but he holds a leadership event. And when he talked about it, I was like, I felt pulled to that. It's one of those things where you can feel inside, like, I need to do that. And it scared me though, because there was a price tag on it, and this price tag was a little scary to me. And I was like, I'm going to go talk to this with Amy, and that's scary. And I was like, ooh. But it was cool because, I was confident, and I came home And I presented it, and she was like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out logistics, and I think you need to be there." And mine was blown. Like, that was awesome. She's a rock star. I love her to death. But opportunities, get to them, use them as much as you can, free with a price tag involved. John, it wasn't easy for him to get down there. At first he was talking about getting a plane, and then next thing you know, he's messaging me. He's like, "Hey man, what's the hotel address? I'm going to be driving down there." It's a 14-hour drive. He did it on the way down there in one shot, and he did it on the way back in one shot. And I'm pretty sure he got home just in time to probably brush his teeth, maybe change his clothes. I don't know, throw on some deodorant so he didn't run through it, and go to work. But he got there, and I mean, that's awesome. That is awesome that he committed to that. Because the price tag for the event this year compared to last year, let's see, last year was $45. This year was $200 something. But when you think about, we talked about it, when you think about what we got access to for 2 days for that amount of money, it's like pennies. Bo Eason charges $35,000 to come to an event to talk. That should say something right there. So I know price tags can be scary on things like that in trainings, but anything you get brought into with being around this group of people, it's going to be worth it. Danny Johnson, it's worth it. When Amy first mentioned Danny Johnson to me, and I looked her up on the website and I saw how much it cost to go to that, I was like, "You're nuts, woman." I was like, "What are you thinking?" I was like, "To listen to this lady talk, we're gonna pay that much," but it pays for itself. That's how we paid off our debt. So sometimes you just got to take and set that off to the side. And that's kind of like when you have a problem, you take away the emotion from it and say, what is the problem that needs to be fixed, and go after it. All right, I'm going to try and get back on it break, because I just went all over on the freaking place. So that's Carl's page. Let's flip to the next one. Let's find a good point on that I'm going to target. Not going to talk about that. Scott Mann, you can wait for him. Okay, so they did a transformation roundtable. One of the guys up there was one of the founding coaches. Old dude, shaky. John, you know who I'm talking about. I just didn't give a crap of what people thought. He's like, I'm known as the coach who made girls cry, because he just tells it how it is. So I'm sure he worked with females, and he just told them to get over themselves and just do it. And he's like, I made them cry. It's kind of funny, but he cares. It's funny listening to that guy, the way he talks, and just not give a crap about what people think. But he was like, I help everybody that I can. He's like, they don't have to buy from me. And his message was pretty much, do it like you weren't getting paid for it. Just help people. And that can be a conflicting message in this community, in this world. You can have coaches that are like, unless it's a challenge pack, sayonara, see you later, peace out, right? But that's not the right answer. Melanie Mintro, top coach, started her journey with Beachbody with a bootleg copy of Insanity. We started with a bootleg copy of Insanity, and look where we're at now. Don't be afraid. It can be hard. Trust me. I know the struggle, because I've been there, and you have people that if you feel like they just want to get stuff from you, but you know what? You give, it'll come back. If you give to someone and they just end up trampling on you, that'll come back to them, but it'll still come back to you in a good way, because you were willing to help them even when you weren't getting anything out of it in return. So don't be afraid to help people even when you're not getting something from it. That's one of the big things Scott Mann was talking about is, we can get so focused on a transactional relationship where something for something, but you just need to worry about relationships. You need to worry about relationships with people. The transaction will come later. And, we talked about it before, it's relationships. That's what it's about. Relationships, building trust with people. And that's what sets us apart from so many other people out there in this industry that all they want to do is sell crap. We know we're better than that. And you're better than that. Embrace it. We don't sell. You can buy saran wrap at freaking Walmart if you want to, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. What's that? I'm sorry. If I wake your kids up, it's worth it, because I'm pumped up. I'm hot and sweaty. All right. Let's see. Oh, big one that I'm getting ready to share is opportunity when you fall off the wagon. Okay. it can be scary to just share what we're doing, period, right? Talk about even scarier when you've kind of fell off the wagon, right? You're putting yourself out there as this coach, keeping people accountable. And this is something that's happened with me recently. You know, I've fallen off the wagon and I need to share that. And it scares the crap out of me because I worry about what people are going to think. But you know what? Pretty much 99% of the time when you put yourself out there and say, look, I screwed up and, you know, I'm getting back on there and I want you to come with me and I want you to hold me accountable. Let's go. People are going to look at you better. You know, they're not going to, some people will judge you. Yeah, but they're them anyway. They're always there. But, I'm going to correct this. Who's going to go with me? So there's opportunity when you fall off the wagon. Don't be afraid to share that. Share your struggles. And I wrote that down somewhere else too. You know, I wrote stuff down everywhere, man. Like it was ridiculous. There's so much stuff. Audit your closest circle. That was a big thing through the weekend. And Gary Vee said it, audit your closest circle. If you're the sum of the 3 to 5 people you hang around the most. So if you step back and you look at the 3 to 5 people that you hang around the most, and you look at their lives and you look at where they're going, if it's not what you want, you got to start pulling yourself back. That doesn't mean you just say, I can't be friends with you, screw you. No, it just means if you're spending time with them and you're spending more time with them than you are like trying to do something else, you know, personal development or, you know, going to like an event or something like that, you got to start rotating and getting the other one in the place. So that was a big one for us when Amy and I got started. You know, we really had to look at and audit our circle. Our circle is bad, and therefore everything we had was bad. Things were crap. But when you can identify that and just start to swap it out and put the 3 to 5 people around you that are what you want, things will start to change. And it's, like I said, it's hard. It can be because you feel like you're not trying to be better than anyone else, but you gotta protect yourself. And if you're married too, that's huge. You got to protect your marriage, your relationship. You know, if you're surrounding yourself with people that are constantly bickering and fighting, what are you going to do? You're going to bicker and fight. So that's a big one. Bo Eason, I'm not comfortable in a world that has accepted mediocrity. Mediocrity. He told a story that had to do with where they lived and going to these birthday parties and these dads that he was experiencing. So, you know, they're in the Beverly Hills rich hoity-toities. And, you know, he's a previous NFL player, and he's out there throwing a ball with his little 2-year-old boy. And he throws the ball and his boy drops it. And he's like, hey, you know, whatever his name was, Johnny, it's like, don't let the ball touch the ground. And he said those other dads would just be in like a little huddle. And when he said that to his son, they all just kind of like looked up and looked at him like, he just said that. He just told his son not to let the ball touch the ground. And they like literally elected someone to go over there and tell him, be like, excuse me, sir, what did you just say to that boy? It's like, I told that boy not to let the ball touch the ground. He goes, really? Why would you say that? Well, because that's what my dad taught me. And growing up in our house, that was a rule. You don't let the ball touch the ground. It's like, really? John's probably laughing because I'm nowhere near Bo Eason telling the story. Long story short is, you know, they got on him for telling his son not to let the ball touch the ground. Whoopie-doo, right? So that's when he literally took his family, walked out of the house, and they moved because of that. He was like, I'm not going to live in an area that accepts mediocrity. He's like, my father told me, you know, growing up that, God damn it, you're the best. He told him that every single time. It's like anytime they woke up, went to do anything, he's like, God damn it, you're the best. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? We've become into a world where we have, oh crap. Has it been that long already? Yeah. Holy crap. Oh, sorry. Stay with, all right. You know, you get like 18th place ribbons. What is an 18th place ribbon? He's like, he even went to the gold, talking about the Olympics. He's like, silver medalist. You think they won a silver medal? No, they won a gold medal. Silver medal just means they lost to the gold medalist. And it's a tough thing because, you know, it's even hard because we see it in Addison. She wants to win at everything. And that's good. You know, she's a competitive little girl. She is a ruby little piece of, you know what, man, she is great. But it is hard because you want to make sure you tailor it in the right way to where they don't become an arrogant and just, like when she at gymnastics, the girl, what did she say to her, to Addison?
I won.
Yeah, they were doing things in a line. So Addison was already behind her, and the girl finished in front of her because guess what? She was in freaking front of her. Hello. She was like, I did mine faster than you, and like looked at her with this nasty snarl. It was funny because Amy texted me. It's funny when you say bad words about little kids, but she was not happy with that little girl. And you're protective of your kids when someone, especially when another little kid is nasty. I'm getting there. But karma came back to that little girl because then that parents asked our daughter to show their daughter how to do a cartwheel. What? Get out of here.
Ruby, focus.
I am focusing. It's all part of the story. Everyone gets this, right? Thumbs up if I'm making somewhat of sense. Aaron's like, is that a thumb up or a thumb sideways?
That's a broken hand.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, Josh Spencer, make the choice to deal with your circumstances, right? Dude's got Lyme disease. That shit knocks you on the ground, but he doesn't let it get to him. And all right, so I'm gonna wrap. Where is it? We're gonna close this up with Chris Reed. Chris Reed, man, that guy, he will tell you how it is. The only difference between you and me is time and consistency, right? So honestly, it's the only difference is time and consistency. He's been at longer, he's done it longer, he's done it more consistent, so he's better, right? So time and consistency. If it's possible, I'm going to do it. We get to choose how successful we are. Our success is based on our effort and how much we bust our ass. That's it. It's not corporate. It's not who's made a YouTube video. It's not this. It's not that. You decide how successful you are. Okay. So if you want to watch TV shows all week compared to actually building your business, then guess what? TV shows are going to be more successful than your business, right? And I don't mean to stand on like a soapbox because, like I said, I myself, I got punched in the face with a lot of the stuff because this past month I've slacked off. I'm still at Success Club zero, and I need to hit 5, at least 5, and I'm going to bust my ass to do it. I'm going to bust. I'm not going to try because that was a big thing. He said if coaches say anything other than yes, I know they're not going to do it. I'm trying equals no. I'm not going to do it. So if you want to do something, say I'm going to do it. Simple as that. Not going to try. I'm going to do it. Just do it. And yeah. So, all right. I know that was all over the place. I'm sorry. If you got to watch the recording and slow it down and replay. But ultimately, this business is simple, but it isn't easy. There's plenty of tools out there, and there's plenty of people out there to help support you to get it done. Gary Vaynerchuk, I think I said it, was he told the room that 33% of you guys just need to go, and you need to quit because you're not going to be in it. And Chris Reed said it himself. He's like, 2 things coaches are going to do in this business. They're either going to succeed or they're going to quit. And I'm not sitting there telling you to just be like, well, I suck, quit. I'm telling you to evaluate yourself. And I got to do that. Self-evaluation is hard. I got to do it myself. Evaluate yourself and be like, am I giving this what I can? Am I putting into this am I shoddy? Am I still good? My screen's going flippity. All right. Am I doing what I need to be to where I want to go? And if this is just a hobby, that's cool. If you're doing what you need to be for doing a hobby, that's cool. But if you're looking at this for a long-term financial provider to get you out of something, then you need to be doing that. I've been hiding under a blanket of the Army for a while. Still separated. I'm getting used to that. And then going to college with my Army benefits, it's still a blanket. And I'm getting ready to make a big shift right now. And that was from this weekend. I'm going all in. I'm done playing dilly-dally. So it can be done. You can do it. It's just up to you whether or not you're going to make that decision and fully commit to it. And don't be afraid to reach out to anyone, message somebody and say, will you hold me accountable? We're here for you. There's other people there for you. There's someone out there. There's a whole network of them. So yeah, thank you guys for coming on the call. I can't wait to see you guys at Summit. I can't wait to see you on whatever else there is on the team page. You guys rock. Amy and I cannot thank you enough for what you do for other people, for your business, for yourselves, for the team. We really appreciate it. We would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. You have people on your direct downline that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you. So you do things for so many other people. We can't even, it's hard to fathom where this has come from, from when we started to now. And it's just getting started. And you guys are in it for the long haul. I know the guys on the call, and I know the ones that listen, you guys are going to be there, and we can't be more, we're awesome. We're elated that it's you. We love you guys. You're our family. This is what we live and die for now. This is us. So thank you guys for getting on the call. John, mad props to you. Thank you so much for coming. It was a blast getting to hang out with you. Can't wait to see you guys at Summit. If you have any questions, we have like 3 minutes. If you want to hop on the chat and chat something up there real quick. If not, just pop it in the team page or whatever. And if there's something, if you ever if there's a topic that you want on a team call or something you're having problems with, let us know and we'll touch on it. We might get you to talk about it. Who knows? We're gonna start doing that. I think we're gonna start. It's not gonna be so much me and Amy's face all the time anymore. We're gonna start getting some other faces on here, get some other leaders on this call. So, yeah. Does anybody got any questions? You want to verbal? I'll unmute. I'm going to unmute you guys. Unmute. Nope. Unmute all. There we go. Hello. Someone ask a question. Come on now. John, how many hours of sleep did you get?
2.
2. Oh, sweet. That's better than nothing.
Hey, how about if you touch on the rooftop leader part from Scott?
Okay, yeah, rooftop. I got 2 minutes to kind of explain that. So rooftop leader, special forces. Their job is to go into a foreign country, infiltrate the tribes, the people, gain their trust, and live with them, and get them to fight for themselves. All right. So what they do is they go into that, and they have to gain their trust in like 2 minutes. If not, they're going to get shot. And what they do is they say, in 3 promises, which essentially is, we're going to fight for you, we're going to protect you, we're going to be with you. We want you to fight and protect for yourselves like your ancestors have done. So literally, whenever time a special forces group goes into a village, within 3 days, they're going to get attacked because the word gets out, because the little jobs go and tell each other. So they know what's coming. And when that happens, it'll be nighttime. They wait till nighttime. The Taliban guys come and start shooting at the compound. SF guys climb up on the rooftop and crawl up to the ledge and start firing, start protecting those villagers. And guess what? For like the first 2 minutes, it's just them. It's just the special forces guys. It's none of the villagers. And what they say, though, is they don't climb up that ladder looking for following them. They just climb up that ladder to get on that rooftop to start protecting that village. But as they keep doing that, then the next thing you know, they look over and they see rounds flying in the same direction, not from their team. It's from a villager. And the next night, there's another one. Then before you know it, it's gotten to a point where it's just a little 12-man team. That's a whole village that suppresses the enemy in a couple minutes compared to a whole night battle. That's rooftop leadership. That's you constantly going forward, not looking back and saying, who's coming? Who's coming? You keep driving forward. You keep doing what you need to do to go forward. And that means, doing what you can do for the people that are coming with you. But you don't sit there and be like, are you coming with me? Why aren't you here yet? No, you keep getting up there. You keep doing it. You keep doing what you're doing, no matter what the people back here are doing. That made sense, right, John? All right, cool. So that was huge. You guys coming to Summit are going to get to hear him talk. He's awesome. He's a great